Oya tu jiche. Ta nga zo ninge la lorang go chu cha sire ta lorang chinyi de. Ta tini ta lorang chinyi go chu cha wa de ta go chu wa de ta nga zo di tsame ga hako wa na. Ta ri chene ta so so so. Ta ne chen di to tseshime ga dewe ga ta tini ga dewa yu ya ga che ta. Shibojin do dewojin dega yo re. Ten yu wa la ni ane ta dini lorang chinyi che ane nyos le na. ane dini rewa chine ane nga tsundi chinyi di chigo yo res.
So we have begun the study on these Lamrim texts, and so if we ask ourselves, why we are studying these texts. So so this is because so we all want or looking for happiness, whether in terms of within this life or in the future lives. So just to understand that that's the reason it is to achieve happiness that we are studying these Lamrim texts.
Tani ta nga tsu ku ta lo yu che shun ja de ni su su se ji li chi ja ne ma go na ni tan chi ni che pa la ni ta nga tsu de shi de go re te chi ni che pa sa ji go ni de shi yu ta go ma res.
So and then so in order to achieve this our goal of finding happiness, so of course merely studying Dharma, merely studying this text, so is not enough, because we must also understand that after studying, then we must integrate it into our practice and to relate these what we learn to our mind.
Tesunza ta nga tsu nane mbe nyere shi ya tso la ni jewa che na ta rat shuna na ta lor chembu nu ji sa che te ne ni je pa ji ma go ne tri to ya yo re te ta ma shuna yo ne nyima she za de do re sa do di re sa den do cha su chung de ngin do di re sa ne su ti sembal nya ta ne te yun ju ta go ta ne ya go yo res.
And in terms of the what we practice in our day-to-day life, then of course it will be wonderful if you have a detailed understanding of the Lamrim text, such as explained in the great treatise on the stages of the path. And however, if you lack that detailed understandings, but then you must at least have some sort of understanding of some essential points of this Lamrim text, and something that point that which we can on a on an everyday basis. There's a certain point that you can always bring those points into your mind and to contemplate it on it, because it is important to go deeper into these understandings, that we must really become very familiar with all this our learning, and the way to become familiar is to contemplating on this on a everyday basis.
Pena nga zon di nga la xia de fando duwa xa na di nga la ta nga zon chi se la xia de karindo duwa wa ina ane tenpa ne shomba tang, jitsi shomba tang, ane njombe yu je ne sami longji ramba tang, ne jachi yu lomba ramba ni shunwa tang Tene Rambaja, ne Shita Chimbo, Nine Jene, ne Georgie Pata Shurate, she Rova, or the reason Sonochi Tontone, we reserva.
So, and as to the the study of the Islam dreams, which we only began really from the last weeks. So, what we have really the main thing that we have covered so far. So that is to we cover about the whole the lineage, the transmission of this lineage of the Buddha's teachings. So which how from the Buddha, from the Lord Buddha, then this the lineage, the lineage of this, or the transmission of the Buddha's teachings. So which we, as we mentioned, that which can be, all this lineage can be put into two. That is the path of the stage of like a vast deeds, and the path, the stage of the path of profound view, and how these two stages of the path of vastness and profundity. So how these then were from the Buddha, they were transmitted to like the Maitreya and the Manjushri, and who then from there then it transmitted to like Asangas, Nagarjuna, and then through all this latter master, then eventually this both lineage has been transmitted to Atisha.
Chezangata Joji Satsa Letazalone, Jojagani, Kandoji, Chasuchi Dine. Ni Shewusuchi Launcher and Balajane, Nole, Nuance level, Devajinipi, Ni Sotevares, and the Atishas, who have got the transmission of both these the lineage of the stage of the path of vast deeds and the profound view, and then Atisha then really compile all this lineage into the stages of the path, which now we call it lamrims. Lamrim, or the stages of the path, in terms of three levels of the stages of the three level of the stages of the path of like the great or the advanced level, and then the middling level, and then the small levels. Chechanga, Tani Nyole Teo Nita, Jojo, Tani Lomano, Rambaji, the Joe Itereni, Umbo Rala, Nijepatni, Umbo Nimbolea, Nindi, Umbo Didilea, Umbo Membola, Nita Duduch in Nos Leg, and it is Rambaso Navishi, and it is Matandi was.
So the Atishas founded all the entire Buddhist Buddha's teachings in terms of the three levels of the stages of the path, depending on the mental level or the mental scopes of the three persons. Person of great mental scope, and the middling, and so to the person with great. So he explained the whole stage of the path in great detail to suit that the person of the great mental scope, or the great intelligence, and then to suit the person who of the middling mental scope. Then he explained to these stages of path to suit that the mediocre persons, and then to to the small to suit the small a person of small scope, then to explain in a more condensed way.
andala nga choti shido yune jepa to rimbo to dipasene che sunga mundu tanye chi mundu de inaya ani kadal jumba wada kadal loramba da kadal mengo basere tela ani jepa to rimba dipa sene tri rejon di song de sro.
So although we don't find these terms of these three types of three stages of path in terms of the three stages of the mental scope, like the very the great intelligence and the middling intelligence and the less intelligence. But however, when we study all this the teaching on the Lamrims, as found in all the three lineages of the Kadamba's traditions, so like the scriptures, Kadamba traditions, then we have instructions, the Kadamba traditions, and then and then the stages of the path. So when you look at all this, so it's the three levels, the address. So the stages of the path are addressed to the three levels of the mental scopes of the beings.
아니 자위라 말아서봐 전에 아니 다 제종가 봐 걸어라 아니 나대고 그래서
so then the all these the three lineages or the tradition of the Kadamba, then all three were transmitted to Jetsongkhapa.
that reason in Nimare she is at the reason, Suzuki, Suke along this and this condisalani, Garcia Sonani, Sambala Ishare, so any the Rigi Rumajit Chizotana, and it are Laura Gom singite, the Ninda Wajins are song of this.
So this, in another words, so this just Tsongkhapas who receive all these three lineages, from his teachers. So the when if we want to become familiar with all these Lamrim topics on the stages of the path, then the way to do is to try to, as you are studying, as we study these texts, then we should also try to recollect or mentally review all these topics, such as what we are talking about here now, how this mentally review oneself, to try to, whether you remember how from the Buddhas, then to how this the lineage, how it has been transmitted to up to this, Tsongkhapa. So trying to, so that way, then you can gain familiarity with the Lamrim teachings. So the best is, if we could remember all the outlines of the whole outlines of the like the great treatise on the stages of the path by Tsongkhapas, and then to on the base following those outlines, the detailed outlines, then one trying to remember the what understanding one has of those the various topics. So you go through that way will be really wonderful. But if not, even if you don't have that, even if we're trying to focus on the essential points of these stages of the path, and then to going through that point and what is your understanding of those those essential points. So we can say that is also doing this is also like meditating on Lamrim topics.
대응 어떻게 집발에 뭔지 어떻게 차와나 나디살라 네 거나 뭐바차니 고인고 드니 지고 와라 처마 부디살 아니 대장안에 다들 처음에 진투잖아 아니 거나에도 아니 지 뭐바차에도 강가로 돈도 겨라 뭐도 셴 거나에 가가다 아니 뭐바차에 가가시네 미사던 거요 말 대너지가 아니 맞아 두두 제네로와 아니 유 조금 나와서 봐 공총하지 도도 이제는 이 녀설랜데나 아니 그가가를 땡겨래서
so if so what one to meditate upon, so even though it is not the indicates a detail about these the whole topic, but if it include all the essential points, and then in a sense, then it is it includes we can say it includes the whole the entire topic of the Lamrims. So it's just like and the meditating on that is equivalent of meditating on the entire stages of the path. For example, how if you are suffering from a cold, then you could have symptoms. As a symptom of the cold, you could get a headache, you could have sore throats, and you could get a bit of fevers and all that. And to remedy that, we take some sort of tablet, and just one particular for the cold, and that can cure these whole symptoms. So it's not necessary for one to take a different tablet to get rid of the headache and sore throat and all that. Just one cold tablet can get rid of all. So it's really likewise. If what we meditate upon, if that really it condenses the whole the main points, then this it gives out then a very good basis for one to meditate upon, such that it is in essence, so it is complete. It is of the entire path.
On that, teni lor jab teni ramba so de japa de jetu chunga pal le chawenza da lama chunga bi ne kasala ni kandes chumare sena di ne kasala lama chunga bi ga ni nginju du shonju se yung to pe tawasala zo nyamsale ne jude yore shisa ni radi gu enesi jang ron de bi ji be teni ta Venezi ore ta gomba dawoshi ta tinol pa pedizala tinol ta juga kashi sare ta kanyeshi ta tigandala ni soa shutopo ta dizala ani yonto pa zupe sujene ni kri tsai lame pada ani lama japa thanje ni ani ta shazi tri chundu chuyores
and the Tsongkhapas, then who combined all the entire the meaning of the entire stages of the path, into three principal aspects of the path called as like renunciations, the bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. and so and and also we find that how the in the text that how there's a particularly when Tsongkhapa's the undertook some sort of like a retreat or meditation in some solitude place in Tibet, a place called Radings. So what he had as the object, holy object, main holy object is the one like the image of the Atishas, Atishas, and so as he the focus on that image, then he had the visions in his meditations, the entire like the lineage of these stages of the path, beginning from the Lord Buddhas, and so he had in this vision, so he had a clear the appearance vision of like the Atishas and all the other and many other Kadamba's masters.
Chawatani ta chujeda jawan rotemba potowa sharawana pi dawego patni shazine ni mengo mumbu namres.
So in this vision, so he particularly had a clear vision of the the Atishas, and then the Atishas men disciple like the drum temples, and then the Potavas and and the Kadamba master Sharavas, and this it is said recorded that he had that vision for for months. Very clear. The vision remained in his meditation very clearly.
Anitene ni ta Potawala super sumbote jul panta jujel panta jujega ni ta shote ni jerumu chingol jone ta charanga seji tela ne drashu ta rupa nga chu zo chu re sene tani ga shaji no ya tani ga ta no ta mo sa ya tani ga so yores.
And so in that during this course of this meditation, so he had also received teachings and instructions from all these the masters who appeared in his visions, and then particularly then eventually all these Kadamba masters then observed one into another and eventually into the Atishas, and then the Atishas then who place his hands on the Tsongkhapa's head, and then said that I will support you in your activity, in all your activities of benefiting other sentient being and of flourishing the Buddha's teachings.
Tene anita ti jela ni ta jesunga bi ngilo ta gitula supiga ni jesunga bala anita shonchi lochi demi gunre wa chi zonru chi sene anita shi utsu shi ujaiza ani kitini lord chimbo tsambares.
And so then later on, then it's really at the request of this of some other like some of his students to compose some commentary on the Atishas text, the Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment. So upon those requests, because of these requests, then the Tsongkhapa wrote the great treatise on the stages of the path.
No, ti zombine kasalani yitnyome yu ta ti zemo khsrwa ta kze ktsada ni ta nge cherang la nge yu da shon ju ju se yu to pi ta wa ji ma xie jo ye dignu mandi ji ta ni chero lu si ji zo ko ngue se ne ni ti ga ma su ya atni ko lo ji ores.
So then when as the Tsongkhapa was ready to or preparing to compose the great treatise, and then at that time then the Manjushri appeared, and then who, half kind of jokingly then said to the, make a remark to the Tsongkhapas that isn't the what I have taught you, which is on the, three principal path, isn't that enough? No.
다 제조감이 야시디 살라니 다 대서기 수자다고 지 맞자다고 지 디기 틴다 로델라 소빌루 카카네 니 시오스지 라지름 발자네 마테 제가 이스네 아드니 야슈야 같으니 로지 그래서와
And then however then the Tsongkhapa replied to Manjushri that there is no there's no the reason why I'm composing is to use is to use these three principal paths as the life of the life or the heart of my writing and then to complement my writing with the quotations from the Atisha's the lamp for the path to enlightenment, and then I will explained that entire path according to the to the level of the three three persons, the person of great scope and the middling scope and the small mental scope.
Teneya ni jermuchiga ta lor chimenola ni ta lu momboton ane ta kadute chite chiga ta lu momboton ane godo mombozo ta momo shenja ta telpa ni shepo tene mombo ye za ta tso ya pa yu ne ni ya ni ji tele duduji ni ta na lor njimbote zompres.
And then after composing the great treatise, then which great treatise which has the many quotations from various the scriptures, and also it includes a great deal of analysis of the viewpoints of the outside, and then to in that analysis, then objecting those views, and then along that the way, then to establishing your own Tsongkhapa's own point viewpoint, and then however to skipping all these details of citation of the various many quotations and very detailed analysis. Then skipping all these things, then the next Tsongkhapa also composed what we now call as the middling treatise on the stages of the path.
In Tandi Zambrete, Inaya, that Nimeti Sigro, the Jarge Lord, Pete Dure, the Lord Chiminun on the Nish, Tangi Taniga Nish, she was on any Tanisha or Rite Inayota, Nolel chasing it, Chason Nolel chasing it, Pe Kembore de Shatinza, in Do Duba de Siena, one drinking to his hash. Nay, Lord Chino get you share what in your letter Chishipa, Santara Nomi, shooting Yawa deeper, good the showers. Nay, Nolel Zogel Dudure, nay, Zog Sares and Trigi, and Lord Chimonosuyores.
And then so despite the fact that the Tsongkhapas wrote this very detailed explanation of the stages of the path, in his the great treatise. Then the Tsongkhapas, did also mention in that, treatise, in the great treatise, that where he said that there is, despite all these my detailed explanations, but really to find someone who can really put this into practice he said that it is a very extremely difficult to find one.
tenza lor chimene teni sunjo eta tiga gumba de ni penche kitijawa chi janse chi ni ta ti gumba le ne korang ta tele dupaji lor mata delon singin da ya ti jawwa chimbi go ni ya ni lor jomba chali pi jedi tsombo ni yapoji sunjo ya res.
And so really taking this statement by the Tsongkhapas on the how he was the disappointment about how to finding those finding the those who can really put this into these stages of the path into practice. So taking that statement, then later on like His Holiness 50th Dalai Lama, as well as the previous the Panchen Lama of this previous to this author of this text. So they wrote the bit more in a condensed form of Lamrim text, like one by the previous Panchen Lama was called as the easy path, which is another practical guide to the stages of the path to enlightenment. And then the 50th Dalai Lama's Lamrim text called the oral, like that, the oral instructions of Manjushiris.
Ani ta yuin de tsomba po ta de nyalo mati de tsomba po luzu che penje luzu che kora ko suwa che na ani ta lor te sola ta tanda ti nyela penche ko sumba ta ani jami sumba sola ani ji chenye ji so su ko gomba ji na ani muchu je mundu sina ya ani ta su kro gitu tu kro lu ju jane chi zong lu sene teni shiwa da ne shu ji ne ya so da senu chunji che ani lo te chu che ne ne salon che tu pat kar se salon che da yu je pa to no le pa che che wale ani ta lo re ge de ni kwa ti sa bo ji chao so na di ge ni ga sa re so ne ni ki lo re de kar ko re lo no ko ye wa te ma ji de zo la ji wa yin ji wa da.
So and then the author of this text, then the mentions that the why he composed this text, while there's already other commentary written by his predecessor and by the the fifth Dalai Lama and so on. Then he said that the reason is because there were some others who he said that even though we could certainly say that if we could there is no there's no need of any more text, but if we rely on what is the text which is already there, that which is sufficient for our meditation, as a meditation practice, as a guide for our practice. So So however, the authors, the Penjin Losang Ishe, who said that that I've been requested by some others to compose the Lamrim, the text on the Lamrim, write on the Lamrim, and also to realizing that how in my own level of marriage, level of the accumulation of marriage, how small it is, and also confessing that how my own the mental level of mental intelligence, how small it is, and so therefore considering all this, so I also thought that it is there seems to be more beneficial to focus on these Lamrim teachings, and to write something on these teachings, then to focusing on to some teachings which deals with their very advanced level of spiritual path, and then trying to discovering something very high level of spiritual path.
Teni 그리고 그런게 로른데 좀네 아니 다텔라 체니 자침보들이 쟁이 충분했어. 이내야 아니 디그 치지도 루제생이 저러 대시경에 마슝해라니 그런 때 시행가 마지비 쓰나 이제네. 아니 같이 지해나지더니 저거에나 현재도 저기 침보나 저 콜때들 것도 기미 못도해 거더니
가두살로
그런
튀기만
점차로 와
나오나
점차를 다텔 체니 여막 체니 지그러 와
나오나
체니 자침보 제서래
나도
이내야 다 디파로 치도 루 진저로 와 대시경에 마용하제 다 가좀 더할 예로 다 마소 마샤고서 지 말지 순루치 맞으나 순나와 치기 루인진데 추지 루진데 아니 생애 맞이 디파라텔네 그런 로체데 동불레 아니 시행 맞이 위친제 가제 슐레 레니사파 따고에나야 아니 현대서도 이 침보더니 지네 바 땡게야 같은 지기 내가 시준도 있어.
And so anyway, so the Pension, the author of this text, so eventually he completed the composition of this Lamrim text, and not only that, he taught this to the a great many students, and then it is said that however there was no occurrence of passing the oral transmissions of these texts, and then the author so before transmitting these oral transmissions, the author also reach quite a old age, and then his even eyesight has also become very weak, to the point that if there was someone who have to if he has to read something, then it has to be his the attendant have to write the scripts in a very large form, and so it kind of come to that stage.
Tindi nekasalani tato lozo no jasi dingeji. Tato lozo no jasi ngi. Lozo no jasi. Konta shataware dewa. Rishel chipo jiti sala. Nimachila ni tindi ga diki ga lore de zinwa. Lozo tande pencher mochi tsamsha. Ne pencher mochi na gulo dewa pe nukundu. Tande lyundu tiji shumatona. Juki lyundu tiji mesona ne pe pombo yusare sone. 아니 코로 네 루도 다 드릭치 지시하대 봐 다시 좀 펜드스
So, so it is the in fact in according to our traditions. So usually the lamas, they won't give a teaching or give any transmission unless requested. So it was the one of the main reason why the transmission didn't take place was there was nobody has requested for that. And then in the meantime, there was one very well-known like a yogi, meditator, by name Losang Namgyas, who found this this Lamrim text, and he was very amazed about this text, and then realizing the age of this the author, then he made a request to the author to pass the transmissions.
콘트리마 페네니 션젤라 데 슌디데 이네야 아니 다 디가서 베지르 모지 시행가 마지와체 아니 지라 아니 굴론 통보체 아니 다 시지치데 자치모체 근데 녀마치니 그 차야래요 말아와 아니 싱예데오 할레제 조 저거 맹해지 저대니 지 슈에 인자 아니 션제 되게 야시다 좀만 됐어
So as you know, the request was made by this yogi, who obviously, externally, seen outwardly, look a very like a ordinary, persons, and so anyways, the attendants of these Penchen lamas, the author of the text, so who didn't pay much attention to that his request. Not only because request was made by just one ordinary persons, but also because the Penchen Lama was at that time was very aged, and so he was his eyesight is bad, and to give the oral transmission of such thick text like that, it's not going to be finished in a day. It will take few days, and so it didn't quite happen at that time.
진짜 그러되고 쪼르와 그러 배 벤조문에들이 쪼르래 들어와 세와시.
No.
다든지 이자네 키 테마 숨스 쉬는데 이네 네 현재도 네 야 벤제를 뭐지 쉬면도 있어와. 제라네 그러대지 공로는 있으네. 당인데지 순루치스네 처럼 쉬고 말해서 벤처럼 뭐가 순루치스네 쉬고 그래서 아니 계속 순나순 마순 마스 벤처럼 뭐지 녀라 근데 니티치 게자들 로가 조루치스네 타마텔 때는 쉬고 그래서
so obviously the attendant was also didn't show much interest as well to that request. Is also maybe because the yogi didn't have any anything to offer, he obviously he didn't have any much possessions, and then so the yogi got quite disappointed, then after there was no acceptance of the request even after he made the request 3 times, and so after the 3rd time then he said to the attendants that I'm not requesting this to you. I am requesting it to the Penchen lamas. So I want to really to make sure that my message, you pass the message to the Penchen lamas.
제라네 벤제를 뭐지를 야슈디잖아. 벤제를 뭐지가다 인도 인스네. 발론서 튀니오고네. 예수네니 콜네 뭐 노머레스로와. 노디잘라니 ngamate지 셰르 마데와 티니고조나지 요르티 이네요. 근데 노디잘 비시에 마데와 치네맹에. 아니 비차 상하지마. 아니 셰르지 셰나 같은데 기에 매비 같대네니. 드니조만 나샹도스 차송하지.
So when the yogis request reached to Penchen Lama, the Penchen Rinpoche was just so delighted to hear that, and he, of course, very accepted to pass the the transmissions, oral transmission of the text, and then at the time of passing on these oral transmissions, which involve the Penchen Rinpoche to read every single word of the text. So it was said that in fact he didn't seem to have any eyesight, issue at all. So it went really well.
That is what Jilujitema Kongkarila Tenanga Susanama Jini Chumbure, and near Kawanashuarsena, Kusachus and Shuare, that the Mumboji Kusachus and Shusa in Jersong, Kusachuta, Lord Chichojet, and Lomobojin Masun Sarva.
So really, it is by the kindness and the gratefulness of the yogi, who made the request, that we now have that transmissions, unbroken transmission of these texts, and which just as many of you, who's been to who attended His Holiness Dalai Lama's, the transmissions of all the 18 the texts, commentaries of the Lamrims. So I was also there. I also attended that, and so therefore I had, I can say I have received this transmission from His Holiness 14 Dalai Lama's Ross.
Chesangatani, that the name of Sundi Zalani, Kongene, Zepapi Chewata, and Chichewa, Chilineshi Chitashavetsno, ne Lorichi Sal Supale, ne Tanashi Aposhingre, isn't it? The Nisujo, this.
So, and then the sections where when the author begins the actual presentations, then the author mentioned that as to the sections or on the greatness, greatness of the composers and the greatness of the teachings, the teaching of the Dharma, and then the how to listen and how to teach the Dharma. So with these three sections, the author said that we should refer to the great treatise on the stages of the path.
Teun Zepapi Chewa Sitza Lord Chichin Karsungu Arsena, Dine Casalani, Tati Shunju Lorden Zepapo, Chujana, not as song Gores.
So, with regard to the greatness of the composers, so the composer here is referring to the Atishas, and who is the author of the lamp for the path to enlightenment.
Ani ta chichi chewa siditsala tikas chujegan zepi lodentela ani ta chewa jet yoresine ta yete jengore sarwa sache jingone.
So the greatness of the author. So the author refers to the Atishas, and then the next when he says the greatness of the teaching or the Dharma, so which refer to the Atishas text, the lamp for the path to enlightenment, and which in the Lamrims, so the there's mention of the four great qualities, or these special qualities of the dharmas.
제요네 사제 동보 템바 토체 가메트 투비 체와스네 가르세고 얼세나 아니 자위 간 아니 탐체가 놀 추드네 다트 존을 순샤이고 아니 로하지름 발라서 방가와 메바 아니 다 고소지 총자비시다 아니 다 윤달라 때네니 하고 더 그래스네 단 동화라 수바도니 시오스지 로라 수바 여러와 더조강한 가와메 바네 구조지 수자비시다 아니 녀슬레 요레세 아니 윤달라 때네 하고 더 그래스 되는지 거래.
So just to list those four special the qualities of the dharma or teachings. So the first is that which says the quality is that that all the Buddha's teaching are non-contradictories. So what is saying here is that that you would by depending on these texts. This is actually the text referring to the lamp for the path of enlightenment. So the quality is that by relying, by understanding the lamp for the path of enlightenment, then you would understand that there is no all the Buddha's teachings are non-contradictory in the sense that whether the Buddha teachings of the whether it's the sutras or the tantras and all the various teachings which are taught to so many different types of audience or listeners. So whatsoever, there is no, if we have a good understanding or if we or we're relying on this the text, then you don't see any self-contradictions in the Buddha's teachings.
아니 니파수라 말이 동화도 차와스 가르세나 제비다 드니글로르 tellatene 제비그 숨비 수라 토제 아니 인데다 동화리 인데 동화 말이세네 파지 셰지 메와 차송 비녀스len 지그 동화임바 아니 또 더요레스.
And then the second special quality is that all the scriptures are instructions, instruction for practice. So this is also very, something we can realize these qualities that how all the Buddha's teachings, there's no exceptions, but everything Buddha taught. So is for the instructions or to be applied into practice, and so there's no not a word which are not the personal, which are not relevant for the applying for the practice. So this is again another special qualities of this the text is that you would understand that all the teachings of the Buddha as personal instructions.
아니 디고는 자유 군파 될었니 비체와스네 다 드니글로르 tellatene 니 다 간도 저그 유 군파데 빌레 라오고네 니 하고 더 그래서 될었니 빠서로.
And then thirdly, easily finding the Buddha's thought, Buddha's thoughts or Buddha's intentions. So again, this is the quality of the Dharma in the sense that if we understand this text, or if you're relying on this text, then we would and one of its special qualities, special specific qualities is easily understanding the thoughts or the intents of the Buddhas.
제 정안에 든디가 lor chimbo telani ta chenye she nyos lewa ina ani diga ande cho she dongla sopa nyepa no ruji chi ongo no ya ani 든디가 ta yundela yete 든디 yores ni songo yores.
And then the fourth the special quality is the automatically becoming free of great faults. So this is to say that that if we by following these texts, then we are in a position to automatically or to easily the eliminating all the mental afflictions, such as like desires, angers, jealousy, and so forth.
다 제장가 저 치치 체와 세이들라 네 디가스라 네다 러를 단다 사지 이제 된 거네라 뭐 제우시에요 레슬라 러지 못했어 다 치라 니시 치다 샤와 생기도 땅가 저 네 제라다 된 거래 대진도 뒤자시 시나 성도 있어와.
So these four special qualities or specific qualities of dharmas, which we are just listed here and just went through them very briefly, but you will find in great detail in the Tsongkhapa's the great treatise on the stages of the path. So now the next, which is the talking about the how to listen and teach dharmas.
단 디고를 간데 디세는 가서티 저는 만도네 소노토에 질러 아니 러르 체면을 가르수 요르세나 아니 된 제파포냐 니 제파포 호세지 수조요레스와 데이터 윤디는 시에디살라 아니 마카시가 다테 제르모치 수야한테 가르세나 아니 조지도 코로니 다치스 지지바 아니 든디 고만데요 그래서 든디 윤디 그때도 고만데요 그래 이나요 니 벤젤로즈 시 코랑 숨바이나 아니 디 텐도 대체네 말해서 가르스는 제르모치 그런 훨씬 마사주 되기지 레스로와 마사주 되기 인자코 조제도 뒤지지바 있으네 진짜 송어 말해서 아니 드리스네 네 뒤지지바 인생에 될라 드리 조시에 보존해 봐 거셔요 레스.
Now we will go over that, how to listen and teach next time briefly. And now in this the text. So there's a one the line, or actually in the Tsongkhapa's the great treatise, there's a line which says that the author of that text is also the author of this text. This text. The author of that text is also the author of this text. That's the line says there. And now this one, the way some scholar they interpreted this meaning of this line is that saying that the author of that text, which is the referring to the Atisha's text, the Lamp for the Path, which was written earlier, and this text is the Tsongkhapa's, the great treatise. So they interpreted that maybe the Atishas and the Tsongkhapa are same mental continuum, are same persons, right? So, however, the author of this text, the Panchen Lama, then who says that this is impossible that Tsongkhapa would make such a statement, that it should be Tsongkhapa's being a very someone who practice humbleness, won't consider himself as the same as Atishas. No.
제장아 아니다 텐제법 보텐 딘제법 보레세 디살라 투제 집안을 해면데 아니 다 드리그 제르 말에 조제데 쇼줄로르 체몬 제법 보는 말에 했으러와 다 디준데 디다 로르네 된다 순서 디그 된다 가르스러와 맞아 디 콜소노 지돈다나 야본데스
So if in fact Geshe-la wants you to think on this, so what does that mean? This line was actually said in the Lamrim, Tsongkhapa's Lamrim, the great treatise. So where the author of that text is author of these texts as well, and so if you have a bit of more thought and do reading and whatever, so what does that exactly mean? We leave it here tonight. Thank you.